From the 1011 Now Alert Center,
This is the Night Beat.
sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Thursday, February 12th. First, we're learning more about what police say happened in the apparent murder of Hannah Neville and Roberto Tanner, as 3 people believed to be involved are officially charged in county court. We were in the courtroom today as 3 of the 6 people accused in the apparent killing of 32-week pregnant Hannah Neville and her husband, Roberto Tanner, were charged. These charges come a week after human remains were found at a rural site in Saunders County. Police have yet to confirm the identity of the remains, though we do know an autopsy has been done. Kendall Hawthorne, Amy Mitchell, Sheena Miller were all charged with accessory to murder and tampering with evidence. Their bonds were set at $1 million today. Matthew Licklider, the 4th person arrested in connection to this, was not arraigned today. Newly released affidavits were painting a clearer picture of how police believe they were involved. Investigators say Miller was there when Sterling James is alleged to have shot and killed Tanner and Neville, and that she helped move their bodies and the car. Police say Mitchell removed items from Neville's vehicle, and court records indicate that Hawthorne gave those items to a friend. The 4th person, Matthew Licklider, is accused of helping James burn Neville's vehicle. He's expected to be in court tomorrow. This case covers a lot of ground, but it started in Polk County. Hannah Neville and Roberto Tanner lived in Stromsburg, where the population is just over 1,000 people, and in a town this size, news like this is especially shocking.
That's a sad story. That's sad. It happens everywhere, and it can happen here, but not very often. I feel bad for the families and the people involved. No question. We're all thinking about them. It could happen to anybody.
Some new information tonight. The Polk County Sheriff's Office confirming that Hannah Neville had an interview with Casey's in town on the 13th and was supposed to start on January 17th, but didn't show up. We'll have more from the community as well as those developments today out of the Lancaster County Court tonight at 10. As a reminder, Tanner's half-brother, 24-year-old Sterling James, and his wife, 22-year-old Sade Titus, have both already been arrested and charged. James is facing 2 counts of murder and another charge in the murder of an unborn child. He is being held without bond. Titus is facing accessory to murder charges along with tampering of evidence. Her bond is set at $1 million. A Beatrice man was found guilty on all 5 charges for killing his partner and holding his kids hostage in 2024. Christopher Milkey was charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm to commit a felony, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and tampering with evidence. The jury deliberated for several hours before announcing the verdict. During today's closing arguments, the state asked the jury to find Milkey guilty on all 5 counts, while the defense pushed for reduced charges. Milkey's sentencing is scheduled for March 19th. He could face life in prison. Over at the state capitol, the Nebraska legislature's executive board formally reprimanded Senator Michaela Cavanaugh of Omaha for tearing down a temporary historical exhibit last month. The surveillance video you're seeing here shows Cavanaugh removing posters made by PragerU outside her office. Governor Jim Pillen then requested a criminal investigation into the matter. The displays were part of the United States 250th anniversary celebration. Cavanaugh says she was, quote, surprised and disappointed to find out she was being formally reprimanded without an opportunity to respond.
So while I stand here responding to a legislative reprimand, the specter of criminal prosecution still hangs over the situation. That is not a small thing. It is serious, and it should concern every member of this body when disagreements within this building escalate to that level.
In the reprimand, which goes into Cavanaugh's permanent record, the executive board called her conduct unprofessional and unbecoming. Senator Ben Hansen, who chairs the executive board, says they followed policy to a T when it came to the reprimanding process. We're learning more about a bus crash in Iowa that sent dozens to the hospital and killed a community college student. According to Iowa State Patrol, an Iowa Lakes Community College bus crashed on Highway 4 just west of Twin Lakes. Law enforcement says the bus veered off the road and overturned into a ditch. ISP says there were 33 people on the bus, many of them suffering serious injuries. 19-year-old Carter Johnson, an Iowa Lakes baseball player, died at the scene. The other 32 were sent to area hospitals, and as of this morning, all are in stable condition. The Nebraska Department of Transportation has revealed more details about a hit and run outside of Fremont High School during an anti-ICE protest. According to a crash report, a protester was moving toward the vehicle as the driver accelerated when the two collided. The driver didn't stop, failing to help the pedestrian and report the crash. Officers found the driver shortly after. He told them he was fearful the protesters would hurt him if he stopped. 6 citations have since been issued in the crash. The driver was ticketed for leaving the scene of an injury accident. The Nebraska softball team won 2 games against ranked opponents last season. This year, they have 3 wins against teams inside the top 25, and the season is just getting started. The Husker softball team was back in action today for a doubleheader in Clearwater, Florida. Game 1 of 2, what you're looking at right now, Nebraska able to shut out the 12th-ranked Tigers thanks to a dominant performance from pitchers Alexis Jensen and Jordy Fromm. In the second game, the Huskers faced off against number 20 Georgia, but ended up losing in that one 6-5. Finally, tonight, and rounding out your night beat, is a check of the 7-day forecast. Temperatures will continue to warm, at least a couple degrees almost every day, outside of Valentine's Day, which will feature a little more cloud cover and a better chance for a little light rain, especially for those closer to the Kansas border. Temperatures warming to the middle and almost upper 60s by the end of this weekend and into President's Day, before we get closer to 70 degrees next Tuesday for a mild and breezy day with a little more cloud cover that may keep us quite from getting to 70 degrees before temperatures will slide back, and the weekend after this Valentine's Day weekend looks to be a bit cooler.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.